Welcome. Willkommen. Oh my gosh. This is Chi, and he is in his wedding attire.
Oh, wow.
This week we are heading off to near Salem, Oregon from Salt Lake City.
Ooh.
And to my goddaughter's wedding.
Ooh.
Nuptials, yay!
Dilly.
And I have not been out of Salt Lake for 2 years. I felt this is the time to exit stage left, please. So I'm doing a road trip with a dear friend of mine, Mary Catherine Venizelos, Greek. And she is going to be acting as my caretaker.
Oh, that's awesome.
So now we will see if the two of us can survive each other. You know, the Persians have a saying, how do you really get to know someone? Well, travel with them. And if you can travel with them and not kill each other, you might be good together. So I think, first of all, we're going to go to Lava Hot Springs and stay in a lovely old hotel that's been renovated called The Home. And it has huge bathtubs to soak away your stress, your blues, and enjoy.
And those bathtubs get the water directly from the hot springs, right?
Absolutely.
So now, are you and your friend going to be sharing a room and a bathtub?
No, 2 different rooms.
Okay, because that's when you really know how compatible you are. You share a bathtub.
Well, actually, the bathtubs are really big enough for 2 or 3 people. You know, so they're good-sized tubs. So I just love going up there. It's beautiful. It's on the end of the Shoshone Reservation. You know, it's just a little one-horse town, and I absolutely love it, outside of Pocatello, Idaho.
Ah, cool.
And then from there, we're heading up to Oregon. You know, and I don't know at this moment where we'll be staying on Thursday night, but it'll all open up and unveil. So it's just delightful. Yeah.
And then Friday you're in
Oregon, and Saturday will be the wedding.
Ooh.
From I think 11 or so till 2 or so. And it's at a little country club golf course. And it will be beautiful and fun, and I'm just really grateful to be going there.
And there were two months ago, before your surgery, you were thinking that was just an impossible kind of little pipe dream. It was something you were saying, wouldn't it be amazing if...
That's
I
true.
actually felt well enough to even go to the wedding, and here you are making a road trip out of it.
Wouldn't it be amazing if... And that is meant for somebody out there who is attempting to accomplish something, and also to take care of some major stressors. And that is one of the phrases I suggest you use. Wouldn't it be wonderful if... Da, 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 da. And that is so much better than harping and going, and this can't happen and that can't happen. Wouldn't it be amazing if this transpired?
Yeah.
It puts much more positive energy out there, which is what you want to do.
Yeah, and I remember, Lily, when you first taught me that, you were like, you can probably fill up a book on wouldn't it be horrible if. So sometimes when you get like the health crisis moment, or the diagnosis, or you get kicked out of your apartment, or you lose your job, or a relationship ends, the first thing that we can do is wouldn't it be horrible if, and then I can't find a place, and then I can't find another job, and wouldn't it...
And no one will ever love me again.
Yes.
And my brain cannot come back online.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Yeah.
I know there are others of you out there that have had some issues with brain trauma.
Mm.
And I want you to know that it will get better. Please give it time. Give it time. I am doing both physical therapy and occupational therapy because of my stroke, which was just a few weeks ago. And that is definitely helping with the retention and with the fog lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just shifting into that wouldn't it be wonderful if, wouldn't it be amazing if, and deciding, if I've got this imagination that can imagine anything, and right now it's in service of worst case scenario.
Yes.
Let's just shift that, because the future is yet unwritten, into best case scenario.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be wonderful? Wonderful. If I could dance all night and boogie like a baby.
Okay. I see you, Lilli DeCair.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What is going on in your lives? I think somebody out there is having some issues with an elder parent. And the parent is afraid. What can you do to allay their fear? Love them. Have compassion. Have kindness. Talk to them about their absolute favorite things. Bring them something to munch on that they have always truly enjoyed. Point something out to them that they could possibly look forward to. Do their hair. Have them look refreshed, neat. Do something that celebrates life. Remember what I said in an earlier video. When life sucks, celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate. Dance to the music.
So how does one celebrate when life is sucking for them? How do you pivot? How do you personally pivot into the celebration mode?
Well, I do my makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I comb my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I brush my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I put on perfume.
Mm-hmm.
I dress, even if I'm going nowhere and no one is coming over. I dress decently.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes flamboyant.
Sometimes quite indecently. Quite
goodness.
indecently. I mean, we just have to. Yes.
Really?
Okay, sorry. You said flamboyantly.
Flamboyant, yes. Well, have fun and enjoy. Use color. Says the woman who wears a lot of black.
But you got your lips done. You've got some color.
Oh, you can always wear a lot of bling.
Mm-hmm.
Or scarves.
Mm-hmm.
And just have a great time, because you're dressing for yourself. You're not dressing for anyone else. You're dressing for you, and make your life a celebration. Eat something small that you really, really enjoy. That causes some endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
And then get those serotonin levels going and get happy, because we're back to happy, happy, joy, joy.
Yeah.
I also feel like, I know there's several out there that feeling kind of sad, feeling kind of anxious, and are really wondering how things are going to work out. This is not the era to be putting a lot of energy into that. This is actually the time to realize they will. I have been taken care of so far in this life. I have always had a roof over my head, somehow, some way. And I don't think that's going to stop now. Okay? God is good, orderly direction. and just put it out there. Let my will be thy will.
And what's interesting in that good orderly direction is, we're not kind of saying my will be thy will to some idea of God that is judgmental and punitive, or it's good orderly direction.
God is love. Love. And a God that is love is not going to be coming from a punishment base and a judgment place. It's going to look at things and, oh well, that needs to change, this needs to change. Yet, overall, we're coming back into balance, restoring the balance. The time is now. Would you like for me to share the fable of the bird and the turd?
Yes, please.
Okay, this comes from a book called Me the Flunky that I read, maybe 50 years ago. And it's about a high school teacher, and it's his first gig at work at teaching. And it's an inner city school. And he's been given all these wayward students who are considered to be unteachable. And so he concocts an idea, and he talks to his students, and he listens to what their lives are like, and asks them to write for him an essay of something they really would like him to know. And one young man wrote about the bird and the turd.
Oh my.
And the story goes, once upon a time in the far off long ago, there was a knight living in a castle who decides to take his steed for a ride and exercise him and get out and be in the fresh air and the forest. And as they are just walking along, the horse decides to poop.
Oh dear. Oh gosh. Okay.
And at that very same moment, a little fledgling bird falls out of the nest in the tree nearby. And the little guy lands on the forest floor and is like, oh no, what am I going to do? And I'm so cold. And then he feels heat. This over here, it's warm. Oh my gosh, it's really, really warm. So this little guy just moseys over and gets right in the thick of things. Oh, I'm getting so deliciously comfortable and warm. I think I shall sing. And so he begins to chirp at the top of his lungs. He's so happy. All of a sudden, a wily old fox comes along and hears the singing and looks and goes, lunch. So he goes and gobbles up our little fledgling. The moral of the story is, the one who gets you into it isn't always your enemy. The one who pulls you out of it isn't always your friend. And when you're in it up to your neck, it's no time to sing.
Oh, no! The Bird and the Turd is told by Lilli DeCair.
The moral, yes. Okay.
Although the counterintuitive thing is that you, my dear, are one that will always sing. And, and that's part of what gets you out of the feeling of being in a turd.
Well, but I do it in the bathroom.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's debatable.
Okay. All righty, honey.
So, something I wanted to ask you, was I know for a long time you taught stress management technique.
Yeah, that's true.
And I would love to hear what it is that you taught.
Pet your dog.
Get a dog.
Get a dog. Get a cat. Preferably one that won't bite you.
Oh yes, because that could add more stress. Yes.
Yeah. Well, several different things. Finding things that really float your boat. And it's like, and some of the things that have done that for me have been Recovery Incorporated. And that has been around since about 1938. And it is a free self-help mental health program for nervous people and former mental patients. Mm-hmm. And it is an entire way of figuring out how to handle your stressors. Mm. And so I would suggest, maybe going out on the net or, looking up we don't have phone books anymore, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know, man.
So I guess that's the way, or asking if there happens to be a group in your city. Mm-hmm. If not, start one. Find out. Get the books. The founder of it was Dr. Abraham Lowe, and he was from Vienna, Austria, and spoke about 5 languages, and he was the head of psychiatric hospitals in Chicago. Mm. And look at this little guy. He is so darling. Just look at him. Oh my gosh. My little angel boy. And he's so happy. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So, and I happened to study that when I was younger, in my 20s. And then I wound up facilitating a group for about 12 years in Portland, Oregon area. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then I personed a hotline every Monday for 24 hours, just taking calls from people who were having a really tough time. Okay.
So can you share with viewers, as you were facilitating your groups and talking people through a call, can you pretend like, because I'm sure there's got to be someone watching that is going through it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What were the techniques that you taught? What are kind of the go-to principles?
Learning how to turn most things into trivialities. Because most things in life are trivialities, except for birth, death, and sometimes marriage, when you get married, not during the marriage. Now, when it says that most things are trivialities, it's like, okay, we oftentimes get really crazy and mixed up families during things like Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, holiday times. Well, when you begin to take a look at the trivialities, the averageness, okay, Thanksgiving dinner is just a meal out of hundreds that we have every year. Mm. And you just focus in on what are the average moments during that meal, and how do you reduce that? For instead of looming up as this huge hurdle to overcome, how do you focus on bringing it down to molehill instead of a mountain? Mm-hmm. And there are many different ways, if you take a look at the conversation and knowing that I cannot change others. I can change myself, but I can't change others. I cannot change acts of God and Mother Nature. Mm. What is the one thing I can focus on is changing myself and the way I choose to react to it. Do I want to react, or do I want to just be patient, peaceful? Do I want peace instead of this? Mm. Oftentimes, because we have not been trained as human beings on how to handle everyday situations, we wind up making a drama out of all sorts of things that needn't be. So take a look and see, is this a really big situation that needs to be dealt with, or can I let it go? I would be very cautious at which fights, which wars do I pick up off the floor to dust off and deal with. And we find that most things are not necessary. Yet oftentimes we want to be very dramatic, because that proves how important we are, which ain't necessarily so. What good is living when no gal is willing to no man what is 900 years? Methuselah lived 900 years. Oh my gosh. Learning how to be group-minded, okay? And that basically means thinking of others. Not just your own dear self, but thinking of others when it's warranted. Okay? Remember, I had a stroke.
Can I ask, so let's say that someone watching is recognizing, hey, wait a minute, I have turned something into a drama.
Yes.
Or I don't even want it to be a drama, but I find myself continually getting caught up in it and upset by it.
Step out of the game playing.
Yeah, how do you let go when you find it you're in this cycle?
Step out of it. All you have to do is step out of it. Don't engage. It's your choice whether you engage or not. I'm done with this. I can't handle this right now. Okay? No, I've had enough. I need to back off right now. It's not working for me. I'm not doing a good job of dealing with this right now. I'm sorry. Please excuse me.
Wow. That's an empowered statement.
Which one?
All of it.
Oh, okay.
In the moment that you really are honestly feeling that, to just open your mouth and say it just like that.
Yes.
Because there's no accusation. Right. What I'm hearing in that is there's no, you're making me crazy, you messed up human.
Yes.
I'm just hearing, I'm not handling this well, or I don't like the way I'm feeling right now.
Right.
I need to step away.
Yes. And I am sure there is someone out there that right now is needing to do that. You know who you are. Don't make me get out my flying monkeys.
What? You have flying monkeys? Well, whoever is listening, please do not take her advice so that we can see the flying monkeys. Oh my goodness.
Don't spill any water on me either, darling.
Oh, I see. I do see. So now what does one do if the argument that they're having is not with a physical being, it's just their own head? Because don't we do this sometimes? It's like our head goes back and replays an argument, or we're having an argument with ourselves or others.
That's called having racing thoughts. And you can nip that in the bud and just kind of observe. When you catch yourself, tell yourself, acknowledge to yourself, I'm having racing thoughts. It's time to stop this. Halt. Don't make major decisions when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Not a time to make big decisions. And yet, don't we regularly do that?
Yeah.
And I keep remembering myself that I am a work in process, making progress, not necessarily perfection. So it's like, and learn how to pat yourself on the back. In recovery, they call it endorsing yourself. Endorse yourself, endorse yourself. You're better than you think.
Beautiful.
Well, we do have to learn how, that goes clear back to pats and grats. And we do have to learn how to pat ourselves on the back and acknowledge that we handled something. And if we take a look at how we might have handled it in the past, versus how we just dealt with it, oftentimes we realize, I've grown. Oh my goodness. I'm getting a little more mature. Wow. Yahoo. So learning how to pat yourself on the back, because only you, my darling, know how tough it is to handle whatever you're dealing with.
Do you want to, I know we've shared this in lots of your videos, but it just comes back into my head again.
Okay.
For someone who might be watching for the first time, or, I can never get enough of hearing you talk about it, the little cancel tool.
Cancel. All right. When you start ripping yourself a new one, darlings, oh, my nose is too big, my butt's too fat. I'm not pretty, I'm too old, I'm too stupid, I can't deal with this, oh no. Okay, cancel. For each time you say something that is drawing you down, utilizing the term cancel, and then replace it with something that is a positive. I can breathe through my nose.
Oh, hey.
I'm grateful I have a butt.
Hey.
Because I've been around people who've lost theirs.
Oh, yes. Well, there we are.
Well, here where I live, there was a lady who was utilizing a rider mower and cut half her buttocks off.
What?
Yeah, it tipped over and cut off half of, So she came and lived here for a few years before she passed.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, yes, whoa. And look, I'm not stupid. I actually have a master's degree. Oh my gosh, that means I'm not completely dumb. So taking a look at how to negate the negate. Yes. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that has always stuck in my head when I'm having the racing thoughts. It's just that some cancel.
Cancel. I don't need to go there.
Yeah, and I don't even need to beat myself up over the fact that I was going in and because then that starts the spiral. It's just cancel.
And always remember, the humor is your best friend, while temper, both fearful and angry, is your worst enemy. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Or everything and run.
Yeah. Oh, man. And just because I'm selfish, and I think it will benefit others.
Yes.
What were some of those affirmations that you were giving me earlier? So there was the money one. Yeah.
My good and my income come from expected and unexpected sources. Okay.
And tell me how you use that one.
When if I have concerns regarding, I don't have enough to cover the bills, I don't have enough to go grocery shopping, or I've got so little, I've only got a few pennies left in the bank statement. Those are all good ways. My good and my income. And good, all kinds of good. My good and my income come from expected and unexpected sources. Yes. Because oftentimes we think that our income is only going to come from a job, a boss, an inheritance, a loan, just different things that we, getting something, student loan, etc., etc. And yet there are so many other ways that your good and your income can come, such as gifting, winning, finding something, locating something on the street that you can't find anyone to return it to. Just serendipity, surprise, someone deciding, I really don't need this anymore, so let's just give it to somebody. So there are many ways besides the hard work 8 to 5 way for the good, your good to come to you.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I've seen with you so much, and you taught me this when I was 20, is that you said, well, you can take out the middleman, which are the green pieces of paper.
Right.
You said, yeah, we live in a culture where I give you these green pieces of paper in the States, and you give me this thing, and that's kind of the way that we're used to getting things.
Right.
But what I've seen in your life constantly is how many times have these videos been interrupted by a neighbor saying, Lily, I have extra quiche.
Oh, yes. Right. Yes.
I have extra this. And then when you start to add dollar signs, how much would I pay a fabulous chef to make me some quiche and deliver it to my front door? And you know, it's like we just took out the green pieces of paper bit, and there's the thing.
And the funniest thing is I don't even think of those things. You know, I just think about, oh, how sweet, how wonderful. My little neighbor Linda, she's just this cute little redhead who does those sorts of things for me. All sorts of people, you know, get me on their radar somehow and do really sweet, pleasant, nice things for me. And I'm not the person who puts dollar signs on what they do. I'm the person who's appreciative of what they do.
Yeah.
You know, and also the more that we say, and stay in that place of appreciation and gratitude, the more our good really truly does come to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yet we have to keep working with that because we are a society that deals a lot with gloom and doom peddling. And there's always someone you can talk to that'll go, oh, it'll never work. Oh, that's a stupid idea. Oh, no, you can't do that. There's not enough money.
Yeah.
And I know there are dozens of you out there that are dealing with issues like that. You know, think for yourself. And also touch base with yourself and figure out, what is it that makes me happy, gives me joy? What do I want to do? And how can I move beyond this stuck spot? Okay? And we talked about various ways to get out of the stuck spot. Do you remember?
I do. Do you want to reiterate some of your favorites?
Well, you know, there's always the grats and the pats. And 6 things a day you're grateful for. I am grateful for my little one, Chi. I am grateful for my beautiful friend, Stacy.
Yay!
Yay! And her gorgeous smile and happy countenance. So we do 6 things a day, and we do it in the complete sentence. And then pats is I pat myself on the back for getting up, brushing my teeth, or laying down and letting someone do Reiki on me so that I can get up. These sort of things. So we do 6 of each of those a day. Then another one that is so simple is just taking a sheet of paper 8 by 11 and writing nothing more but words that make you feel good. Not affirmations, not major statements, just words of puppies, video, love, smile, pink, orange, Reiki, whatever words, filling the whole entire page, and that literally shifts and changes the serotonin levels in our brain. So by the time we are done, we are in a better space.
And you know what I love is that as you were naming things, just little words that bring you joy, you were glancing around your room.
Oh, yes, because there's so much that I really, truly have to be grateful for.
Yeah, let me see if I can, I don't want to break down, oh, there we go. So, just so people get the idea of Lilli DeCair, so everywhere in her space, see if I can not block the camera. There are so many lovely things that bring joy and instant gratitude. Like, I walk into your space and it doesn't really matter to me how I'm feeling when I get here, because I know that it's almost like your space itself is like that 8x11 piece of paper with happy words on it.
You know, I have been told that several times. And I've been told by clients who come to me about, you don't understand, Lilli, this isn't part of the real world. When I have to go out into the real world and deal with things, and it's like, really? My place isn't part of the real world? No, it's like this magical little cottage.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
Okay. I know that I don't really get that. Because I'm with Lilli 24/7.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, big deal. But we can all transform our places with items that we love. Instead of just doing the have-tos and the keeping everything clean and orderly. It's like, what do you love? What makes joy for you? Is it color? Is it art? Is there something that you want to crochet or macrame? Do you want to color or do paint by the numbers? And somebody else tells you, oh, that's crap. Like what is it? Me and the Velvet Jesus?
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I've got my plastic Jesus. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Do it, and as long as it is a good thing that helps others, yourself. Yeah. To harm none, lest in thy self-defense it be. Ever mind the rule of 3. To harm none. Otherwise it comes back on you at least 3 times. And I really believe that that's true. To harm none.
So what's that other, there are a couple of affirmations you gave me. So we've done the my good and my income come from expected and unexpected sources.
I always am taken care of in all ways. Okay? I always am taken care of in all ways. Okay?
And then there was the affirmation about housing.
Oh, okay. My perfect divine space is coming to me now at a price I can easily afford.
Yeah.
And I know there are a number of you out there that are thinking about this and looking for a place to dwell. And it's just right around the corner. The more that you can keep yourself in an optimistic frame of mind and be feeding yourself things beyond gloom and doom peddling. Don't buy into all the statements we hear on the news or everything that we hear about statistics and everything, because it's like there's always exceptions to the rules. Not everything is written in stone, although many, many people think it is.
Yeah.
And it's your opportunity to shift and change that. And the funniest thing is that the more you do that, you do the shifting and the changing, the more you get into that frame of mind. And the more you get into that frame of mind, like the law of attraction, the more you actually do draw it to you. That's the little scientific formula. And it's what we think about is what grows. Right?
Yeah.
So back to the lion that you feed.
Yeah.
Which one? The wolf that you feed. So you can shift and change things. yet it has to start with you.
Yeah.
You know, don't think it's going to start with someone else. Oh, I wish Great Aunt Myrtle would give me $1 million.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, no, we don't dictate to the divine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my good and my income come from expected and unexpected sources. So we do not dictate to the divine. Allow it to come the way that it chooses to come.
Yeah. And I think you told me the phrase positive expectancy. So
Positive expectations?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
so you would tell me that, my job is to have positive expectancy.
Yeah.
So it was whenever I catch my mind creating a storyline
Yes.
that is freaking me out, I'm terrifying myself and terrorizing myself with this storyline that I'm creating,
Right.
that I do the cancel, and then what is the best storyline, since my imagination is, being very active anyway, what's the best storyline, my imagination, and that it's my job to keep orienting myself to the best that I can possibly imagine.
You know, another exercise that is fun to do and can take you a while, and I would really suggest, I know there is somebody out there that really needs to do this, but it's called 101 wish list.
Mm-hmm.
And these are wishes, not have-tos, not goals, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Wishes means that one can be far out there. I wish I could see fairies and divas. I wish I could find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Wishes. And 101 is the magic number. And something you might find as you are doing this exercise is there becomes a theme. It's like, oh, I notice that I'm saying this one a few times. I might need to look at that and see what it is about that I really want to make happen. Then after you've gone over it, put it in a drawer and look at it maybe week to week or month to month. And check off on that wish list what has actually transpired in some way. Mm-hmm. Now, I have folks who do that once a year, every year, such as New Year's Eve or their birthday, whatever it is, and they love doing that exercise and seeing how much of what they've put out there really in some form comes to fruition. 101 wish list.
Yeah, and do you know what? The first time you taught me 101, and I think you had me put it away for a year.
Okay.
And then I brought it back after a year, and we just went through it. And you would say some of them were very realistic things that I wanted. Like
right.
I want to get a new car. I want to do.
Right.
And then there would be some that were almost fantastical, like I want to be able to fly. And you would reflect back to me where you were a year ago was you felt very earthbound.
Yes.
And very heavy.
Right.
And do you feel now like you're flying all the... And of course he's got his
fly.
wings. Yes.
Fly, my little darlings, fly.
Yes. But it was amazing how many of those things, energetically, even though I thought it was fantastical, the fantastical thing it was a metaphor for the energy I wanted to experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
I have several books that I have used, over the years. One of them is John Randolph Price, Spiritual Philosophy for the New World. And within that, and I've probably mentioned it before, bears repeating, on page 21 is a wonderful meditation. And I have read that meditation in groups. I've done it for myself. It's very, very life affirming. So that is, and he has all sorts of wonderful information in that little book Spiritual Philosophy for the New World. And that comes out of the Cordis Foundation, which was out of Bourne, Texas. I don't know if it's still going or not, but I know that was a really wonderful. Maybe can always check Hay House Publishing. Mm-hmm. It regularly has a number of past and present, current publications.
Yeah, do you know what? I found it on Amazon.
Okay.
I was looking for the Abundance book.
Oh, did you find it?
I did, and I bought it for $6.
Wonderful.
And they have used copies for less.
Yes.
And I did see the Spiritual Philosophy for a New World.
New World, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, and he also has another book that's called Super Beings.
Oh.
And in the front of it, he describes 12 different types of personalities. And what I discovered was that I was a blend of a number of different personalities, but I had aspects of each one of them. Mm-hmm. And what was so funny, I was in Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco, and I was in a bookstore. And this darn book kept falling out of its place about 6 times. And it was Super Beings.
Oh.
You know, and I finally picked it up and decided, okay, I'll buy you. You know, you just quit jumping off the shelf. And you know, we get messages in all sorts of ways. Now, sometimes people tend to think that's magical frou-frou. Or sometimes, oh yeah, right, there are no coinkydinks. Well, is that true? I don't know, but I feel like when the things hit me in the head a number of times, it's like time for me to look.
Yeah.
And especially like, you know, usually it's about 3 times. When I keep getting the message 3 times, then it's like, all right, maybe I should consider.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because would you say that when life has something it wants to tell you, it's very kind. It will keep telling you. It's not going to be like this judgmental of, well, we sent you the answer and you didn't recognize it in the moment. It's like...
Right. I sent you a boat. I sent you a plane. I sent you a train. And you turned them all down.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Yeah, in my experience, if it's something that I need to hear, I will keep hearing it until it's undeniable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or feeling it. You know, don't reject your feelings. If something doesn't feel right to you, listen. Listen and take the opportunity to exit stage left. If a person doesn't feel right to you, let go. You know, we do the let go and let God, surrender. And think. Pause with a cause. Think. Okay, easy does it. Let go. You know, release. Let go. Just different little thoughts that you can help you shift and change. You know, oftentimes I'm thinking about mind your own business. Recognize what is and isn't your business. And if it's somebody else's, stay out of it. Stay out of it. You are not the emperor of the world. Hard as that is to believe.
And you know something, a slogan, it might be an Al-Anon slogan, is they'll make you crazy before you can make them sane.
Oh, that is so true.
Yeah.
I love it. That is so true. They'll make you crazy before you can make them sane. Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah. And I think especially, for healers like you and empaths and, you know, highly sensitive people who do feel like, oh, wow. I've noticed I'm thinking of my little sister when she visited me in New York. And she's very, she's just lovely person, and people were just attracted to her. First of all, she's gorgeous, okay, so there's that.
Right.
But she's also just full of love, and she'd never been to a city like New York before.
Okay.
And I left her in Central Park when I went to work, and I came back and she's like, oh my gosh! All the crazies
Oh my.
had been attracted to her, and she didn't know how to extricate herself. And of course, you know, New Yorkers are like, crazy, don't like being around you, gone, goodbye, nope, don't have time, goodbye, thank you, nope,
Right.
good,
Yeah.
get out of my face, you know?
Yes.
And she hadn't learned that bit yet. So I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit, because you did it so gracefully earlier in the conversation, when you're in that moment and you're thinking, okay, this doesn't feel right to me. Being with this person is not feeling right for me.
It's not working for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say in those moments, or how do you take care of yourself?
First of all, you have to acknowledge it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to allow yourself to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get that message, it's a good message.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, excuse me, but I have someplace to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just as soon as you get the message that this isn't working,
Mm-hmm.
that's the time to just, you're getting a message. And I think those messages often come from Creator.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't work. It's not part of your soul group.
Right. It's not your job, no matter how
Right.
much you're telling yourself, maybe I can help them, or I don't want to hurt them by walking away, or that would hurt their feelings. It's like, that's not your business, that's their business. You can't control how other people feel. You don't know if they'll take it personally. They, you know, it might be their shtick. Who knows?
Right. And as an empath, we tend to want everybody to feel good.
Yeah.
That's impossible
Yeah.
because people have choice.
Mm-hmm.
And they often choose not to.
Mm.
That is their choice.
Mm-hmm.
Allow it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Esther and Jerry Hicks, the Abraham materials,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they talk about the law of attraction, and that's, we all can have seen that in The Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the law of allowing,
Mm-hmm.
and then deliberate creation.
Mm-hmm.
Deliberate creating. And we talk about the mapping. Let's see, in a restaurant, we get those little paper doilies or whatever you call them.
Mm-hmm. The placemats. Yeah.
Placemat. So there is such a thing as the placemat exercise. And just sitting there when you're out to eat and just jotting down little things you'd like to have come to pass. And just jot them down all over the placemat, you know. It's not a have to, it's just kind of a fun exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And do that and leave it there and let the universe take care of those things, not you. But you know what I often have discovered is when I get those up and out of myself and onto the paper, it's the first step in acknowledging to myself that there is something that I want. Or something that I need, or you know, to transpire or whatever. So just doing that fun little exercise, the placemat process.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and that can be combined with the "Wouldn't it be amazing if?"
Oh, yeah,
Using that as your launch pad.
Absolutely. There are so many little exercises that we can do. You know, for instance, tapping. And Nick Ortner and his siblings, Jessica, and I can't, the name of the other brother isn't coming to me right now, but they do a marvelous site on tapping for many different things, for weight loss, for stress management, you know, for sleeping. Just, they have hundreds of videos on how to tap for those things and learning the actual movements for tapping, you know, is a really good thing to do. So I would suggest going out there to their site.
And we have a video of Lilli doing some tapping, which will be published very soon.
Yes, and I love doing the tapping. Now, once again, I'm going to say that if you're really looking for expert tapping and on many different subjects, that's still a site I would go out. I mean, I go out to it, you know, and that is Nick Ortner. And I've got the couple of books that they wrote. So his sister wrote one on the dieting using tapping. And then he wrote one just on what tapping is all about, and you know how the process and how it has helped. And that's one, I think they call it EF something.
Oh, EFT, yeah.
EFT, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So some people call it that, you know, and it's another exercise that's easy to do, and by the time you finish doing it, you're relaxed.
So Lilli, we got a couple of minutes left. Is there any last things that you want to say to anybody watching?
I am seeing something. I'm seeing something that may be dealing with somebody's teeth, a tooth or something. So somebody out there is having some sort of issue with the tooth. And don't wait. Get to the dentist. Go get that taken care of, even if you don't have the finances. It just really is needing to be dealt with. And remember also that our teeth deal with the heart. They deal with our immune system. So I would suggest to someone out there that you go get that taken care of sooner than later, my dear. Otherwise, it could cause some other inflammations and infections.
Cool. Okay. Any other last little things or sign off that you want to do?
Walk your talk, live the life, and don't be of cause of grief to anyone, my darlings. Have a beautiful week. See you in a week.
Woo! After your vacation.
Love you. And I'm so glad that you are taking the opportunity to check this out. Please leave any comments that you would like. I'd love to hear. Especially I'd like to hear what you might want me to address. And yes, any good comments, nasty comments, tell them to somebody else.
Yeah. Will be deleted, unceremoniously deleted.
Have fun, everybody. Have fun. Okay? Yeah. And reduce things to trivialities. Don't make them larger than they are.
Yay. Thank you, Lilli.
Hi. Woo. Say hi. Woo. My little fairy.
Bye,
My little angel.
Oh, little dude.